So Josh Jacobs don't get a deal, huh? So it looks like the great Josh McDaniels, or as the Wi-Fi Willie calls him, genius Josh McDaniels, or as I call him, Josh McPuss, fails to extend Josh Jacobs. The 25-year-old Josh Jacobs. Now, to me, this is when I'm thinking, like, how much is this really about the team, and how much is this about Josh McDaniels? You know what I mean? We all know that Josh McDaniels came into this shit with a crazy ego. We know that. He came from Denver with a crazy ego. He came with the ego because he won under Bill Belichick, right? We know that. But when we think about what he's been doing, I don't care if you're a Derek Carr fan or a Darren Waller fan or a Josh Jacobs fan or even a Hunter Renfrow fan. When you look at the things that's been going on from a team point perspective, you have to wonder, like, is this best for the team? Is this best for the team, or is this just something that Josh McDaniels is saying, I want to do this? You know what a lot of people are saying, he's trying to stick a circle into a square peg. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not listening to these players. He's not listening to paying attention to situations. He just thinks he's a genius. And as long as Josh McDaniels thinks he's a genius, he's going to continue to do things like make us lose our best players. I can't. It's hard for me to overlook the fact that the Raiders won 10 games in 2021. And you guys are going to say, well, you know, that was a COVID season at the end of the season. But no, listen to me, y'all. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out because what happened was they actually was 5-2 before John Gruden and the Henry Ruggs situation. So if you're 5-2, that's a good team. You're a good team. They were still growing. The defense wasn't great. But they was good situationally. And Max Crosby was fucking dominating already. It was just Max, though. It was Max and Perryman. We didn't really have no other people out there. So really, to come into 22, if you're really trying to win in 2022, you come into the season saying, all right, we got Devontae Adams. Let's get some defense. And you keep rolling. But the first few games, I noticed that Josh Jacobs wasn't getting the ball. We all know that he made him fucking play in the preseason. Josh Jacobs didn't like that. We know that. Declined the fifth-year option. And that's why I told y'all that I don't think that they even really looked into this roster. I think they just took the job and said, this is the direction we're going to go. This is what we're going to do. But I don't think they actually fucking took the time to really get to know these players. Because if they would have knew what Josh Jacobs was about, they would have known, like, okay, let's go ahead and pick up his little fifth-year option and see what he does. I mean, it was only $8 million or something like that he'd be making this year, right? But they brought in Brandon Bolden and players who don't never run the ball. So if you're Josh Jacobs, they say, hey, Josh, you know what, man, we didn't really think you was all that. You got to come prove it. And he come and he prove it. Come on, y'all. Come on, Raider Nation. We got to be fair. Josh Jacobs proved this contract, y'all. That don't mean he got to get $17 million a year. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying give Josh a blank check. But you telling me we can't give Josh Jacobs $13 million a year? We can't give him $12 million a year, not for 10 years. Not like a fucking Mahomes contract. We can't give him $12 million a year for fucking 4 years, for 3 years. 3 years with an option on the fourth year. Team or a player option. I said team option in the fourth year. And pay him his money, man. Like, I don't know, man. To me, the good teams, they don't hesitate to pay their players. Like, the 49ers didn't hesitate to get Christian McCaffrey, even though he came with the highest price tag at the running back position. They didn't give a fuck because they knew he was going to come along and do what they need him to do. He fit the system. But this whole thing with Josh McDaniels with Josh Jacobs is like, it's not just about Josh Jacobs. You understand what I'm saying? It's Josh Jacobs, it's Darren Waller, it's Derek Carr, it's the Hunter Renfrow talk about trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, is this about Josh McDaniels or is this about the Raiders? So I find it interesting that Josh Jacobs doesn't get a deal, man. I hope y'all drop y'all comments. It's my first time going live. Hopefully I ain't fucked up, but what y'all think about that, man? I think he deserves his deal, man. I'm not saying give him $25 million a year. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying give him $25 million a year, but he's got to be worth $12.5 million, $13 million a year, $55 million guaranteed. Give him something. Ain't like you paid anybody else. They ain't paid nobody else on defense or nothing like that. So I don't know, y'all, man. I feel bad for Josh. He's only 25 years old, man. When you're 25 and you're young, this is your first contract. This is his first real contract. His first opportunity, because after this, they really gonna be playing the old card. You know what I mean? Like Dalvin Cook, he's 27. He can't get a fucking deal. 27, he can't get a fucking deal. But he's got a lot of injuries and a lot of wear and tear. Josh Jacobs, he just turned 25. He can't get a long-term deal. He missed 6 games in 4 years. That's not that bad for a bell cow running back. He's played more games than Saquon Barkley. He's outproduced Saquon Barkley. He's produced right there with Christian McCaffrey. Josh Jacobs deserves his money, man. Not to mention you drafted him. When you draft a player and you want that's what you call homegrown. When you draft a player, you want to keep him in the house. Lord forbid, man. Raider Nation, Lord forbid Josh Jacobs goes to the Chiefs. Lord forbid Josh Jacobs goes to the Chargers. We don't want him to do that shit. We don't want him to do that. We don't want that. We don't want him to play on the Niners or any place he goes like that. That's going to create a dynasty. He goes to the Chiefs, that's a dynasty. We don't want that. We don't want that. And, you know, like I said, it's the fact that you drafted him. He's top 5 at his position. You can't just let it go like this. He got a sour taste in his mouth now. He got a sour taste in his mouth, and he ain't going to hold out. But I will say this. I don't see Josh Jacobs playing game 1. Game 1, we will not see Josh Jacobs. No fucking way. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think he's going to let them play 1 game without him, and then he'll come game 2. That's what I think. I think he'll sign the franchise tag week 2 of the season. That's what I think. But, yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man. I'm a little pissed, man. I really like Josh Jacobs, man. I was looking at some stats the other day, and it says he's top 5 all time in the first 5 years in the NFL, under 25 years. That's what it was. He's the 5th player under 25 years old with like 6,000 fucking scrimmage yards or some crazy shit. It was like Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Marcus Allen, was it Jim Brown? It was some crazy names. And Josh Jacobs was right there, man. Josh Jacobs was there, and that's your homegrown drafted talent. Your homegrown drafted talent, man. And if you really want to be like the Patriots, like they're acting, then you got to, the players that's drafted that's good, you got to keep them. You got to keep them, because I'm telling you like this, you can't let the dogs get away. Yeah, I know Darren Waller was hurt last season. I know he was hurt the season before too, but the 2 seasons before that, he led the team in receptions. Reliable weapon, y'all. And he's finna go and produce in New York. I don't like that. I don't like that. And a lot of people love and hate Derek Carr, but guess what? He's going to go produce in New Orleans. He's going to produce in New Orleans. I don't fucking like that, man. And where we at right now, we don't even know who's going to fucking throw the ball for our team right now. And what's scary about fucking handoff Jimmy not being there or being there is if Jimmy Garoppolo goes down, we got Hoyer. We got Hoyer. This motherfucker probably ain't threw the ball in 2 years, and he probably played some spot duty shit. But man, if you got Hoyer as your backup, it don't look good, man. These are scary times, Raider Nation, and that's why I'm coming to these points. I'm sitting back. I'm like, okay, let's find out what makes sense. Let's find out what don't make sense, salary wise, competitive wise. I'm looking at the competition every time I'm doing my Raider analysis. I'm always comparing to the field. So when I look at us coming into game 1 against the Denver Broncos in Denver, Josh Jacobs eats against Denver. We on a 6-game winning streak against the Denver Broncos. 6 games. And Josh Jacobs be eating on their ass. If we don't have Josh Jacobs out there, that's not going to be a good look for fucking Josh McDaniels, man. I don't know who the fuck the quarterback going to be. We got to see what's going on with training camp. I mean, I'm not excited about it. You know, of course, I'm going to watch it. You see the hat I'm wearing. It's Raider Nation till I die. I'm still going to watch it, but am I concerned? Fuck yeah. Am I worried? Hell fucking yeah. Am I pissed off? Fuck yeah. And, you know, and I'm aiming all that right now at Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. That's what I'm aiming it at. I'm not aiming it at the players. I'm aiming it also at fucking Mark Davis, because he knows better than this, man. He's got to know. He's got to know this shit's not working. You got to fucking read the room. You got to feel the vibe of the team, the vibe of the nation. And Raider Nation is like, man, we almost beat the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs, 1 play away. We didn't have Devontae Adams. We had Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and nobody else out there. And Derek Carr threw the pick at the end to end the game. Man, we felt good about coming back the next season with Devontae Adams and adding and Chandler Jones, and maybe just getting better on the defense. Man, he set us up, man. He came in here with his ego, and he said, you know what? I don't care what you guys did well last season. I don't care what you like, veteran quarterback. I'm gonna bring this system, and I'm not gonna ease you into it. I'm gonna bring this system, and you can't audible in this system. You can't make any adjustments at the line of scrimmage in this system. That doesn't say that you want to be successful. That says this is about you. It's not about the team. Because if this is about the team, you want to come in and say, hey, Derek, what do you like? Okay, I seen you did well, this, that. Okay, these concepts we're gonna have like this. He didn't do that. He's saying, look, my way or the highway, like he was a rookie. He's not a rookie, it's a veteran. You got to treat veterans with more respect than that, y'all. But I look at Josh McDaniels, I just don't know what to do. I support my team, like I said, man. It's Raiders till I die. But I'm very confused. I'm very pissed off, and it's hard to be optimistic because I like to be real. Anybody that follow me, if y'all follow me on TikTok at the Sportsman, y'all know I'm about being real. I love the Lakers, but if they fucking up, I'm on their ass. I love the Yankees, but if they fucking up, I'm on their ass. I love the Raiders. If they fuck up, I'm on their ass. That's just how it go, man. You can't just be a fan just sitting back with your fucking and nah, man, when you a real fan and you out representing this shit, people are gonna bump into you in the streets and they act like you represent the team. They act like you are like when I see them in the street, they talk to me like I'm a fucking exec. I'm like, man, I don't fucking work for the Raiders, but look, I'm gonna break down what's going on. And if I feel like we're gonna compete and I feel like they shitting on us, I'm gonna be on their head. But if I feel like we're no good and things don't look good, I'm also gonna say that too. Because that's the difference between Raider fans and Cowboy fans. Every year, Cowboy fans think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck what they look like the season before. And by the way, they ain't going to win shit until they get rid of Dak Prescott. But that's a whole nother video, a whole nother fucking thing. But Raider Nation, if we sit back, we really sit back honestly. If we honestly sit back, is this about the Raiders or is this about Josh McDaniels? Drop your comments, man.